Why, hello there, everybody. Rodamon here. Thank you for tuning in to Common Hood, Episode 4, Elevator Mechanic. I'm hoping that that they're actually able to clear debris for me. So now that I have plant nurture, I need a valve and 150 screws, and then I can make a potting station. So that's the screws. For the valve, I will need a metal wheel. And where do I make the valve again? Not the pipe bender. Machining table, I think? Nope. I forget. Oh, you know, the valve... No, it's not on one of those. The valve, I think, is made on a lathe. No, that doesn't make sense. The valve is not on a lathe. It's... I thought it was at the machine workbench, but no, I'm wrong about that. Wouldn't be a bandsaw. That doesn't make sense. Drill press does reinforced plates, so it's not that. Bench grinder I have right here. So it's not the bench grinder. Why am I blanking? It's not the chop saw, not the generic. Oh, I don't think it's on the Tinker Station, but I can't make one of those anyway. Oh, you know what? I think it's on the Mechanic Station. So at this point, I need raw steel, and I'm not going to be able to get any raw steel until I enter the next area. Until I, like, sort of advance the story some more. Unless you sell raw steel. That might be... Nope, you don't. So, unless I am mistaken from not memorizing it quite right, I think my next step is to unlock a new zone. So, let me update the priority. And double check my research that it's not a research that I have not yet unlocked. No. Okay, yeah, I think it's a new zone. I'll double check. I'll have the answer soon. So the next zone is accessed through this broken elevator. And this broken elevator needs a metal wheel, a microcontroller, a metal disc, and an electric motor to repair. Yoda fan. Thank you for the resub. Yoda appreciates the name. Find a place for Ruby's ideas. What else is there? Info and recycling and Tinker Station? Ruby, what was your ideas again? Community workshop. Alright, just to pass the time till the end of the day, I am going to research Clearing 101. Or actually, Research 101. This allows you to research faster. Our numbers are growing. Got some friends. Do I have to research clearing before the AI will do it? No, they'll do it automatically as long as they don't clip into terrain trying to do it. Just making sure that nobody has any new quests for me, and they don't. Alright, so let's go ahead and get that elevator working then, huh? So, gears and metal rods. So I need one wheel. Does anyone have the recipe room? I think it was a wheel, microcontroller, engine, and something? That's the wheel. This is the microcontroller. Or not wheel. I think it was gears. Gears, wheel, microcontroller, and... motor. So I got a wheel, I got a microcontroller, I got a motor, and I think it was a metal disc. Yeah, that's right. Metal disc. Thank you for helping me remember. Or remembering for me. The other thing that we could do is we could pick up and move outside into the pumping area. Because I think what's happening when I try to clear debris is my people are trying to clear this debris here, and they physically can't path to it. They're all getting bugged out here. Right? So no debris is being cleared because they're all getting stuck on this debris. Whereas if I moved... in fact, I'm going to do something... I'm just going to see if this fixes it. I'll keep sleeping here. But I'm going to have them sleep across the bridge. And see if when they wake up in the morning, they start clearing debris that's actually useful. Because the debris on this side of that piece of debris doesn't matter so much as the ample debris over here that is not getting cleared. And as long as I space them out enough, they won't get pissed about being, sleeping on top of one another. And some of this debris I can clear just myself, too. Like, I'm going to put my own bed over in this corner, so I'm sleeping over here as well. Because there's a lot of raw resources that you give up if you don't full clear an area. It's not necessary to do it, but it might save you money by making sure that you full clear. So I'll go ahead and set up my bed here. And then the owner, let's say Ash. That will be my bed. Ruby. Mark. Mo. Right. And that should help them tonight or tomorrow with the clearing of the debris. I hope. And then if I moved out here, this is a different zone. So if I moved and set beds up in this area, this is a geographically separate area from the indoors, so that we can start clearing the debris out here as well. That way, as we proceed through the game, we are clearing as we go. This elevator is a little buggy. Not going up, but coming down, it gets a little weird, and I'll show you how to avoid the bugs. So here is the machine room. New area in the factory. And this is going to have resources that I couldn't collect in the last spot, like raw steel. And that way the game requires you, here it is, requires you to progress through the story in order to be able to make the things that you need to make. And on this pass, oh, another important thing to note, you cannot use the elevator after 9 p.m. Like, you're just too tired to use it, for better or for worse, just game design. So if you don't go back to where you intend to sleep by 9 p.m., you automatically sleep at, I think, 11 p.m.? It's not a problem. It's just the people will be bound. So, for instance, if I did not make it back tonight, this is a material science manual and staircase, landing, modules, or blueprints. So if I didn't make it back tonight, what would end up happening is the two vendors, Cedric and Alcott, would move to this spot, and then everybody in my community would move to this spot, which is not so much a problem because the food storage is universal. The only issue is, like, if I was having them farm, for instance, I don't have a farm in this area. So my farmers would go idle, and anyone that was working on benches or whatever would go idle. So it's not super detrimental to be locked out of the zone that you want to be in, but it can be annoying. So just time things well. Bar blueprint. Beer garden table, beer garden bench. Robot arm. Box full of lovely stuff. And then there's Mike, who had sabotaged the elevator and didn't want me using it, but I fixed it anyway. And then there's Sahar, who doesn't even want to talk to me. I'd mentioned before, but I'll say it again. Machine tools, which are these, hold on to those until the game updates that offers you the ability to buy them. All the other types of tools, to my knowledge, can be purchased from Alcott, except for machine tools. I think it's an accident. But, yeah, you're going to want to hold on to your machine tools. So I think probably at, like, maybe 7 p.m. my generator ran out of power. At 7 p.m. I will go back to the last zone, so I can fall asleep there. I'm just trying to grab as much resources from this spot as possible. And then also show you the next thing I have to repair to gain access to the next stage of the story, which is up these stairs. So next things I have to repair are these. 2 valves, 2 reinforced plates, 2 valves, 2 reinforced plates, 2 valves, 2 reinforced plates. So that's 6 valves, 6 plates, 4 fuses, 2 servos, and 2 wires. One thing I will give credit to this game that it's a mechanic I really dislike in a lot of games like this that have production queues is other games that I've played ramp up, for better or for worse. I don't like the mechanic, but I can see how others do. But they ramp up the amount that is required, sort of exponentially. So it becomes more and more and more expensive. Like Factorio, for instance. This game doesn't really do that to you. So you can hand make the things that you need to make, and it never really requires you to, like, set up giant production chains. until much, much, much later in the game, and they're all optional, or at least that's... I've only hit optional ones that weren't completely necessary to push the story along. That way you're not grinding for resources for like hundreds of hours. You know, the game doesn't slow you down in that way. So to take the elevator down, stick your back to the back wall and hit the button. There's a little bit of a bug with this elevator that might still happen, where like you start to float and you can't get out the door. But I found that if you stand with your back to the back wall, it happens less. You see how I'm kind of like floating and then I hop out of the elevator and I fall? If you stand anywhere else, you can get stuck in the elevator and you have to ride it up and down until you get unstuck. Not great, but you can avoid it by just sticking your back to the back wall. Alright, I need to refuel the generator. Here we are in the West Wing. And now I have the raw steel to be able to make the things I need to have for story progress. So I needed a drill press, which just needs a 50 shaped steel pipes now. So go to the pipe lathe. And you know what I'm going to do? Rhett, I'm going to have you make it tomorrow. Actually, no, that's going to take too long. There are some items that I'm going to have Rhett, who likes to craft. There are some items that I'm going to have him make specifically. Like, there's a lot of reinforced plates that you need to get through the story, and to have him grind those out every day would be really useful. Hey, buddy, you want some peanuts? I want to feed you. Free. So I unlocked the new zone. I'll update that in a second. Or actually, I can update it. Nope, screw that up. Make the potting station. Alright, let's see if moving the beds fixes the debris clearing. I'm hoping, because that would save me from having to clear it manually. You were hoping I was going to play this? Well, you're in luck. Hi, buddy. I think it worked. I think they're going to start clearing debris on that side. Hope. Am I standing in the fire? Oh, just close to it. So 50 pipes. I got 40 of them already. Now I got myself a drill press. Oh, yep, they're starting to clear debris. I just saw it pop up. It worked. So now with the drill press, I can make... What am I waiting on? The potting station required a valve. Oh, so I can make a mechanic station. So I need 60 plates and 60 gears. And let's have Rhett start making plates. So Rhett, you produce metal plates. Actually, yeah, regular metal plates. And then at the end of that shift... Come on. Okay. you produce reinforced metal plates. That's not what I clicked, though. I told him to scramble eggs. Reinforced metal plates. And he has plenty of metal in the community chest to manage that task. So I needed 60 of these? Yoda's cute today? Yeah, he is. Sweet little guy. Alright, and then 60 gears. Where are my gears? So I already have 20, so I only need 40 gears. That gives me the mechanic station. And then I can also do the tinker station, which is something that Rhett wanted as well. So then this allows me to make a valve. Once I get another gear or two. And then with that valve, that also means that other than servos, I think I can make everything to repair the next zone as well, right? What was I working on? The valve was giving me the ability to make a potting station, right? There it is. Potting station is done. And I'm going to place this over by the farm, because it's a farm. Oh, look at you dig! Yeah, girl! Dig it! Potting station is done. 29% cleared. Yeah, they didn't get bugged out this time. We did get a drill press. That's actually what Rhett is working on. He is drilling reinforced, or plates and reinforced plates. Okay, so I'm telling him that I got his potting station. And then he wants me to prepare specialty meals. So, the meals that he wants me to prepare are dried meat, grilled veggies, and preserved food. So grilled veggies are going to require me to research dried meat for dried meats, preserved foods for preserved foods, and grilled meat for barbecue. So this is what happens when they're clearing debris themselves, is then I can walk over here and just collect resources. My trust isn't particularly high with these guys, so they don't work all day long. They only work in the mornings. And then they do their own thing. Which is okay. My trust with Ash is a little bit higher, which is why she's digging longer. I would not mind getting a research site level 2, because then I can have 2 researchers, and for me to get that, I need a lathe. For me to get a lathe, I need reinforced plates and milling bits. So 3 milling bits. Done. And then reinforced plates are on this drill press. And let's collect the metal plates that Rhett has been making. He hasn't made any. Maybe by the end of the day, he'll have some made. In fact, let me change his work priorities just to produce the... Oh, did I click on the wrong thing? I think I did. Yeah, I did. It was my fault. He hasn't been working on metal plates this whole time. So I'll go over and start to work on dried meats then. Well, he makes metal plates for me. You can see him going back and forth to make metal plates. Yeah, I think I told him to make plaster or something stupid. That's my fault. I had him make plaster and then reinforced plates, but you can't make reinforced plates without regular plates, so my bad. There is a community storage kind of every zone that you're in. So there's one on the other side of the bridge. There's one kind of everywhere you go, and it's all interlinked. So the community storage on this side is right there. And then there's a food root cellar here. Food cellar. Okay, I get it. Plants are ready for harvest. I think at this point, I am likely to move again soon enough that I am not going to put these planters back. But what I will do is put the ingredients. What do I want them to make? I want them to make hot soup. So onions, garlic, and potatoes. Or carrots, garlic, and potatoes. So carrots, garlic, and potatoes go into the community stockpile. And then Mo, who likes to cook, is going to be producing hot soup. And let's take some of those metal plates. Oh, only 10? Dude, you're so fired. Alright, so now I know how to dry meats. I'm just going to take over the drill press and make 10 reinforced plates real quick, because Rhett has been lazy. And then that gives me the ability to make a lathe after 30 gears. And then the lathe allows me to mill wood. I am going to set this up here. So milled wood requires raw hardwood. Yeah, look, hot soup. This is hot soup that Mo has made. So raw hardwood. I have 200 of it. So I'll put 100 of it into the community storage. And then I'm going to go over to Rhett and have him make milled wood. Because milled wood takes a while to produce and is quite boring. Yeah, Mo's doing a good job. Also, Ash cleared out this debris. She's not an... I won't say it. Ooh. Robotic tools I had missed. Robotic tools are very expensive, so glad I saw that. Yeah, Ash and Mo are doing a good job. Rhett, you're going to be demoted. Look at all this manpower. I didn't have to clear out any of this. I just collect. And I think all the debris in this area is cleared. Which means I'm going to start debris clearing the next area. Which starts to mess with the work production that we can do. But that's fine. So this is mine. This will be Ash's. Ruby's. And the purpose of moving like this is so that we can I can instruct them, because I don't really have better things for them to do at the moment. I can instruct them to clear debris while I do the manufacturing. That way I get a lot more raw resources. So the potting station. I did make that. What can I do next? Grilled veggies. Tinker station. I'll do Tinker station. So this is a task for Rhett. And this is the barbecue station that we'll eventually do with ceramics oven, and as you can see, you can start to get farming racks and aquaponics and beer fermenting. Tinker station, I think, is here. Yep. So I only need 30 wire for that. Easy, no problem. They're like Wally cubes? Yeah. Exactly. Did I finish the research station? No, I'm waiting for Rhett to mill up enough material for me to do it. Because milled wood is a long construction process that is boring, and I don't want to be bored. What? Why can't I place this? Because we don't really sleep here anymore. I'm pulling this up. Hey, Tinker Station, what is going on with you? Okay, I guess he'll put it here. There it is. And that allows me to make servos, which allows me to fix that pumping area that was locked to me. Okay, done. Have you made any milled wood? No. What is your deal, dude? This is why I didn't want to make this myself, because milled wood takes kind of a long time. But frickin' Rhett here refuses to work. You know what? I'm shutting this operation down. I'm not really, don't worry. I'm moving to the next zone. With the 0 time I have left in the day. I just realized. Oh. Contains items. What does this contain? Collect all. This doesn't contain an item. I think this is this metal station is broken. I might need a save and load to fix that. Now let me get the bandsaw. 1 second left. Oh, I got it. Yeah. Is there violence in the game? No. It is a mellow game. So there's still other stuff that I have yet to collect. I'll get it eventually. But I might need to do a quick save and load, because I think the game thinks there's something on that metal station, and there isn't. So now we're slipping in a new zone, and I will be given new conversation opportunities in a second. The game sort of expects you to incrementally move along its world. And And now that we have slept here, it allows my guys to start clearing out the debris in this zone. Which gives even more resources. Alright. That's a little bit laid out better, I think. Just the last place was a little claustrophobic because of how small it is and how much stuff I had added. These pumps brought so much trouble. Were you in this factory when was running? I guess nobody saw it coming. That didn't last. Workers started dying out of respiratory problems. Indeed. As he stands next to a can of gasoline. Let's see if I have to do a quick save and load for the metal. I could always make another one, but I don't want to leave it if I can help it. Right, yep. See if this works. Contains item. What if I... Okay, I'll make another metal workbench then. Got the materials. I'm not going to fuss with it. Sorry, metal workbench. You're abandoned. And we've pulled up... Oh, kitchen. Yes. We've pulled up stakes, and we're moving on. I don't think I left anything down there. Cool. It's not... Shona, it doesn't work like that. It's not a per recipe basis. It's just bugged. I don't know why, but when you load a recipe like this... let me try to give you an example. I need a station that... When you load a recipe and you switch recipes, the ingredients still stay there, which you can then collect from. So if you are switching recipes around, it's fine. It's just, in that one case, it stopped working. So I want milled wood. And where is my lathe? Chop saw. Bandsaw. Where did the lathe go? I still have it on me? Man, my people are not clearing debris, are they? It's in main storage, yeah. True, thank you. Because I want to put the lathe next to the community bin so that Rhett can make things faster. Which I'm sure is not going to encourage him to actually work faster. Alright, so there's raw hardwood in the community storage. You are going to debris, going to debris, going to debris. You're idle, because you're trying to produce soup. So I'm going to have you clear. And then Rhett, you are going to produce milled wood for that research bench. Okay. So what missions can I work on? Preserved food, grilled veggies, and dried meat. I will work on that. So I'm going to hope that Rhett is actually working on milled wood for the research station. Otherwise, I'll have to do it myself. So that's preserved foods for dried meat, and grilled veggies would be on the barbecue. So I will get a barbecue station going. So collect 12 preserved foods and 2 dried meat. So where is, in this area, the cellar, the food cellar? Oh, it's right here. Shield, thank you for gifting us up. Okay, I have the preserved foods, and I'm going to not put the preserved foods in the food cellar so that it counts towards the quest, because otherwise what ends up happening is people start eating it, and it goes bye-bye, and then I have to make some more. As far as grilled veggies go, or dried meat, that one's easy. I just buy it from Cedric. So, 2 meat and 4 salt. I forget the ratio, but that should be enough. Oh, it was more salt. So I need 16 more salt. I think it makes a large batch. I didn't even need this many. Okay, that's the dried meat and preserved foods. So now all we need is the grilled veggies. And that's made on a barbecue. Which I forget where I built that. Probably on a bench I have in my inventory. This is compost, so it's definitely not compost. Potting station. It is not potting station because that does greenhouses. It's actually not the kitchen. I need the research for it. I need the research to unlock the recipes. I actually don't need the research to make the physical object. As strange as that seems. What am I missing here? Machine table, metal table, tinker, bandsaw. You think I passed it? I'm a-looking. Oops, never mind. Figure it out tomorrow. Mechanic station. Yeah, that's what I'm missing. So I think that the mechanic station is in shared storage. Thank you for tuning in to Common Hood, which originally streamed live on Twitch November 11th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhodomont.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming stream. If you'd like to join my gaming community, Rhodomont.com also has a link to Discord, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. A special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that made it all the way to the credits. I'll catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell.